going, everybody? Your New England Patriots moved to 6-0. They won last Thursday night 35-14 over the New York Giants. How's it going, everybody? Back here again to recap the game. Cam Vieira, here's your host. Another game that really followed the same script as the rest of these Patriots games have this year. A dominant performance from the defense. Some special teams even chips in with some scores. But the offense continues to struggle. Really only had one good drive, that drive at the end of the half. And so resulting with a QB sneak from Brady. But overall, more positives than negatives, obviously. They sit here at 6-0. There's not much to complain about. After this weekend, I have realized they are the best team in the AFC by a mile. Kansas City's lost 2 in a row. I still don't trust Bill O'Brien to come in here with Houston and beat the Patriots when it matters most. The Bills don't have a quarterback. The Bills have the second best record in the AFC, but they don't have a quarterback. So, when Patriots Giants, my overall takeaway from the game is the offense has to get better. And look, this is a great time for them to have 11 days off, leading into the game next Monday night against the Jets, where they're going to get a real game. We'll get into that later in the week. Sam Darnold's back. The Jets are going to give them a game. So, to get some guys healthy, Matt LaCosse got hurt. He's going to be out 3 weeks with an MCL sprain. Edelman's still banged up. Dorsett's banged up. The offensive line is in shambles. But they re-signed Ben Watson today, and N'Keal Harry was back at practice. So, my overall takeaway from the game was that the offense as currently constituted is not good enough. Because your defense is not going to score every game. Your defense they've scored every game except for the Pittsburgh game. That's not going to happen. They're not going to, either their defense or their special teams has, that's not continued, that's unsustainable. And their defense is tremendous. They are the best defense in the league. They're number one across the board in everything. I know they've faced some crappy quarterbacks and some crappy offenses, but they're legit. The defense is real. They're not going to score every game. So the offense must improve, is my overall takeaway from the game. And Brady is getting killed. And Brady, to his credit, knows how to protect himself. But every time he goes back to pass, he's under pressure. So that has to change. I feel like the Redskins are hell-bent on not trading Trent Williams, so I don't think that's realistic. So it's just going to have to be in Scar we trust. When Isaiah Wynn gets back, hopefully he can stay healthy and trust Dante Scarnecchia to coach up the offensive line the way he has so many times before. On the defensive side of the ball, another brilliant performance. Daniel Jones there was that one great pass to Golden Tate, and the Giants' other score was that scoop and score on the Brady strip sack. So Daniel Jones was content. He threw that one great ball to Tate, but Kyle Van Noy continues to impress. Kyle Van Noy might be one of Belichick's best trades ever, because he has come in and was the best defensive player in the playoffs last year for the Patriots, and that's carried over into this year, playing really well. Bringing back Jamie Collins right now looks like an unbelievable move, another classic Belichick buy low move, and Stephon Gilmore remains the best cornerback in football, as said by Terrell Revis, former Patriot, one of the greatest corners of all time, tweeted Thursday night, Stephon Gilmore is the best cornerback in football. And he continues to be absolutely dominant. But overall on the defense, I don't know how you... I know, like I said, they've faced bad quarterbacks, but I don't know how you can't just... You have to give them credit. They're giving up on average 6 points a game. I don't care who you're facing. In today's NFL, that's absurd. That is absurd. The defense, that is. Now, just the points of defense are getting up. Now, unfortunately, that special teams, when Gunnar Olszewski muffed that kick and Jarrett Stidham threw the pick six, and then Brady's scoop and score last week, those do count against them. I just factored in just the points they've given up as themselves as the defense. It's unbelievable what they're doing. But another takeaway from that game is the Giants have a future. Daniel Jones is going to be legit. He just lacks experience because there's talent there. Everybody mocked the Giants when they made that pick at the draft. That there was a huge reach. They extended for him. Shouldn't have. That kid can play. He's just very raw. There's ability there. I can see it. He just needs to get some playing time. I think as time will go on, will turn out to be the best quarterback from that draft because I've seen more from him than I've seen from Kyler Murray or Dwayne Haskins, who we don't even need to get into. He hasn't played a game yet. I'm already ready to call Dwayne Haskins a bust. Now, we'll get into this later in the week, but the trade deadline approaches 2 weeks away. Some possible targets were Emmanuel Sanders and Stephon Diggs. Emmanuel Sanders got hurt in Denver yesterday, and Stephon Diggs had the best game of his career, and Kirk Cousins and the Vikings finally turned their offense loose and picked on the Eagles' secondary, and Diggs had an incredible game. So maybe those aren't going to happen now. I think some more likely candidates are some people from the Atlanta Falcons, because it feels like Dan Quinn, any second now, is going to get fired. and maybe you can pick up Mohamed Sanu or Austin Hooper. No, they're not going to get Julio Jones, so don't even ask. So I think those are some likely guys maybe from Atlanta, because right now they just need bodies. Because, like I said earlier, Edelman's banged up, Gordon's banged up, Dorsett's banged up. Brady doesn't even want to look at Jacoby Myers. They have nothing at tight end. It's James White. That's really it in terms of their passing game options at full health. Now, hopefully this time off is getting some guys the ability to rest and get healthy. It's been a semi-bye week. The team has really traveled away. They'll report back on Wednesday. Ever since the game ended Thursday night, they haven't been at the facility, which is a good thing. Get rested. Extra day of health going into a Monday night game can only help. But like I said, Sanu and Hooper, those are guys I like to keep an eye on here. And a little bit of inside information here, I got it from a source I believe. They told me there's a good chance that a player that is on one of Belichick's former assistants' teams, a receiver or a tight end, will be on their way to New England. Now, that leaves 3 teams: Detroit, Houston, Miami, Matt Patricia, Bill O'Brien, Brian Flores. I don't know what they have to offer. I mean, I'd love to have Danny Amendola back from Detroit, but I don't see why Detroit would sell. Detroit's traded in it out there. They have a chance to win that division. That division's up. All 4 of those teams in that division can win that division. So I don't know why Detroit would sell. Houston might be the second best team in the AFC because they have the quarterback and they have a defense and they have probably the best receiver in football. I just don't trust Bill O'Brien in big moments. And the Dolphins might be the worst football team ever assembled. I hope Brian Flores survives down there. I'm rooting for Brian Flores. I want to see him do well. But I'm afraid they're going to scapegoat him, even though he's been hung out to dry by their GM. And everybody who's good on that team, they traded away, and they're tanking for Tua Tagovailoa. But overall, the Patriots, it's going to get tough. And it's going to get tough starting this week. As I said, we'll get into that later in the week. Sam Darnold and the Jets are going to give you a game. And then from there, it's going to get real. It ends softly. The ending is just as soft as the beginning. But some tests are going to come. And the offense has to get better. Brady's going to get rid of the ball faster. The line's going to give him more time. And the receiver's going to get open. Now, I'm not even going to get any Antonio Brown, because that turned out was going to be a disaster from the beginning. But maybe they should have held on to Demaryius Thomas. Hopefully, N'Keal Harry can bring some guys back, can bring some juice into the offense. But I think they need to add. And like I said, Hooper, Sanu. Go after those guys. O.J. Howard maybe in Tampa. Again, another basically non-performance yesterday, and the debacle that has turned into Jameis Winston continues. So that's all I got for tonight. Tomorrow, I'm going to be back with a Bruins show. They're off to a great start of their season. Wednesday, I'm going to try and get into a little bit of MLB playoffs and maybe start to preview the Celtics season. Come Thursday, we'll start previewing this week's Jet game against the Jets. So again, your New England Patriots are 6-0 on the season, one of 2 teams left undefeated in the NFL, and the other is good friend Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers. Thank you for watching tonight. See you next time.